Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Ivy, your lovely spider host, and today we have a longer video than usual. Now you're probably wondering, why are you making a longer video than usual? What happened to my 10-minute videos? What happened to my quickie videos? I'm like, well, I got inspired, and let's just say I'm doing a little world building thing today, and so it's gonna take me a little longer to explain, a little longer to go into detail and stuff. But the concept for this world building project is essentially food. And take food with fantasy and mythological creatures and jam it together, and you get a fantasy world based off of food items, and that was the plan. Eventually, it turned into this one little section. This video is about one little section of this world where it's a circus themed kind of thing. So essentially I made a whole circus, a cast of circus characters to insert into this video. I designed them all, I based them off of different foods and stuff, and yeah, that's exactly what I did today. So for the most part, you guys are in for a big old treat, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Anywho, we should probably get into the video. So to start off, I wanted to work on the ringmaster. I actually designed her before this video, so I'm kinda cheating. But she's a part of the circus, so I just wanted to draw her again because she's cute and she's a spider-themed character. That's so important to me and my brand. And her name's Odette. She's the ringmaster of the circus. She's very charming, flirty, and she's a little outgoing, just overall a joy to be around. She's a really good host, she's very funny, and she loves doing her thing where she presents her cast members or just even the fellow circus goers to the audience and stuff. She's very flamboyant when it comes to that. She's very she's a fiery spirit to put into words, if that makes sense. She is based off of Devil's Food Cake, which I saw a picture of it with strawberries, and I thought that was cute, so I gave her a little strawberry spider butt, which was, peak character design. And I say that jokingly because I don't, as much as I love designing characters, I don't always think some of my character designs are peak character design, but some people might, and I really appreciate that. And I just find this design being one of my favorites that I've made, because food themed stuff, it's always fun to make food themed outfits or character designs, because it's there's so much cool and interesting food out there. You'll see one later that my friend Moon recommended I make into a character, which I didn't even know exists, and it looks like a little pancake, a very thick pancake, but instead of putting syrup on it, you put jam and stuff, and I'm like, that is interesting. I want to go to Canada now. Take me to Canada. Fly me to Canada. But I did ask my friends in this video to give me one of their favorite food items, or one of their favorite candies, one of their favorite desserts, just any kind of food, because it's all food themed. There's no restrictions to just desserts or anything of the sorts. There's all sorts of food that you can make out there, and I don't want to restrict myself in that aspect. I really wanted to get really creative with all of this. Pinterest is full of aesthetic food pictures, and it's the perfect playground for me to get inspired. And I think that's also just why I use Pinterest in general, but it is really interesting and fun to kind of mesh these ideas all into one character design, and then make multiple based off of other foods and stuff. It's just really fun, and I liked exercising my little noggin. It itched the good spot of my brain. and I genuinely loved and enjoyed every aspect of making this like entire video. It was like one of the most fun videos I think I've made. I think like another way like with Odette is that she genuinely loves cheering on like her friends at the circus, like just like motivating them, like showing like enthusiasm in like their performances and stuff, and making sure that they're, you know, flashy and wonderful, and she uses magic to help her with that. So like the presentation is peak performance presentation. And I think it's a really cute little detail that she's so enthusiastic about her friends and her work and everything is a good thing. And that's essentially Odette. Now this next character is Odette's cousin. This is Angelica Delight. Odette is also, her last name's Delight, but she's very, very eccentric. She's super hyper, super enthusiastic, just like her cousin, and she loves working at the circus. She's hilariously funny and probably snorts when she laughs, because you can imagine, like, you know, just the like kind of like Urkel. You know how Urkel does the and it like snorts. I can't snort. It'll like peak on my thing. I try to like snort a little bit, but it like I feel like she would like laugh and snort at the same time. Like she's got a very contagious laugh, and everybody starts giggling when she starts laughing. And I can imagine she would be kind of like, you know, the jokester one. Like she has little clown spiders that assist her, so she'd probably have them like fly out of cannons and stuff with confetti. And I can also picture her using, instead of like daggers being thrown at like a board, it'd be like, you know, it'd be like pies or something. So like she would be standing on the board and the clowns would like throw or launch little pies and miss her every time, and then the last one would just smack her right in the face, and you know, the crowd would go wild. And it's just little stuff like that where they're being goofy and everything, and I think it's like the most adorable thing. The clown spiders were actually her own creation. She made them out of ice cream, and essentially what she did is like she gathered the supplies out in like a little snowfield and stuff, which is ice cream in my world, and created a lovely little like spider snowman kind of deal, and made them into little magical like ice cream clowns with like her magic. And I thought that was like the cutest thing ever. And I can imagine like their entrance into the circus would probably be like a tiny miniature pony horse-drawn carriage. Like it's like the tiniest carriage ever, and they all just pile out of it, and it's like, how do they fit in there? What is this mysticism? And it's just little goofy stuff like that. Angelica, as you can see, has a little raspberry butt because she's based off of angel food cake, and I saw this little angel food cake cupcake with like a raspberry on it and like this little leafy green stuff. I don't know what that is, but I added it. It's like a little tiny skirt, like separating the bottom, like the pantaloons from the top, but you see what I mean. I had a lot of fun designing her because like the colors were really nice, and they kind of went well with the little ice cream spiders very well. And I'm like, see, everything's just all coming together. It's all coming together. And it ended up looking really wonderful and nice in the end, and I was very pleasantly surprised how like cohesive the palette was. I'm like, yeah, this is good. Because the little pop of red and then like the little hint of green, like kind of like just, I feel like just made it come together in a way. Like it's not all muddy and brown or just, you know, straight up brown and stuff. It's like there's a little like hint of color, like a little hint of splash, like wee. There's also, like, I will put up the reference images post like when I'm editing, but you definitely see like how I got inspired off of this cupcake. I thought it was really interesting and cute, and I like the little raspberries, and you know, I thought that'd be a cool little like aspect to add into the design. And you know, she got a little raspberry butt like her cousin has a little strawberry butt. You know, just little berries and fruits, you know, little stuff like that. Cute little little features, you know? And the clown spiders are very yippy creature-esque, and I really like that. They make me laugh because they're little, no thought head empty eyes. They're so precious. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just little guys, little fancy guys. And for the most part, that is Angelica. I made a little board, where, you know, she gets pie shot at her as the background, but I had a lot of fun with this design, and yeah, look at her, the lovely little baby. And next up we have Penelope Mint. Penelope is actually inspired off of like a peppermint like chocolate cupcake I saw. Like it was like very like a chocolate drizzle on top, but I don't like mint chocolate. I know some people do, and I'm sorry, please don't hate on me for not liking mint chocolate. It's just I don't see the appeal. It tastes like toothpaste chocolate, and I'm like, this is not what I want in either my chocolate or my toothpaste. And I just don't particularly like the minty chocolate flavor. It's not my thing. I prefer peanut butter and chocolate. And I ended up finding like this like being one of the most fun little designs I drew. Penelope is the juggler of the circus. She juggles little peppermint balls because I thought that would be cute. I wanted her originally to balance on a ball or like ride a unicycle, but I was just like, just put her on a little stand, because it just didn't have enough room to put like the juggling kind of theme in there, so I just made her stand on top of like a little platform, because I didn't want to make her any smaller, because she's already very tiny, and I'm like, I don't want to make her smaller, she's already so small. And she's kind of easygoing, a little like, you know, childish a little bit, but that's just because, you know, she can be a little bit of a brat sometimes, but it's always because, you know, she gets a little jealous of one of the other circus goers, because they're a little flirty with, you know, the person that she likes, and I will introduce him next. But Penelope is very kind and gentle most of the time. She's genuinely just a very sweet person, even though she can be a little bit of a brat sometimes. But for the most part, she was entered into the circus when she was a little younger. Like, she grew up in the circus along with Tartagton, which is her crush. Unfortunately, they were both like kind of like abandoned as children, and so the circus took them in to kind of train them and help them, you know, have a place to live and be situated and actually get like food and nourishment and stuff as they got older. And now that they're adults, it seems to all work out. And Penelope loves Tartagton with all her heart. She grew up with him and genuinely just, you know, has like a big fat crush on them, and I think it's like a mutual crush where there's like they're both pining after each other, but they don't know how to say it to each other. It's like, I want to say so many things to you, but holy crap, I am insecure and I don't know how to say it, or if it's safe to say it, or if you like me too, because I don't want to be disappointed in the end. And it's genuinely just like their relationship is very sweet. They're like best friends. They're very lovey and mutual on each other. They're very, you know, they're platonic right now, but eventually down the line, I do think they get romantic. You know, just something a little sweet, because, you know, they're in their early 20s right now, stuff like that. I find them genuinely just the cutest. Penelope was actually abandoned because she was the runt of her Cyclops tribe, and so they didn't necessarily want her because she was so tiny compared to the other Cyclopses. And it's like, no, little baby, like leave that little guy alone. that's the mentality that I've had towards the. She's genuinely like just a precious little baby. You know, you gotta love her. And I definitely see how the mint chocolatiness of her design kind of came through, and I'm very happy to say that this is Penelope. Ain't she just adorable? Look at her. I think I also would imagine she would like the circus clowns, like the little ice cream clowns. And she's like, oh, look how tiny, look how precious, look how snuggly you are. I just want to hold you and squeeze you and snuggle you and just chill out with you. Because I feel like the clowns would act like little cats, like little pet cats, just with more intelligent, well, I wouldn't say more intelligence, cats are pretty smart, but, like, maybe more sentience in their brain instead of, I don't know, it's hard to explain, like, they can actually, like, talk and stuff, but they're just kind of like, eesh. And that's Penelope. Tartacton is a minotaur. A very big minotaur. He's big and beefy, he's kind of a himbo, and I think, as most people do, we all love himbos. They're goofy, they're sweet, they're just precious. They're precious little guys. I wanted to make sure he looked strong and stuff. I have to adjust as I go with this sketch, because I'm like, this doesn't look super strong, and then eventually I kind of adjust and tweak some things, and then oh, look at that beefcake. He is based off of something that I was introduced to by my friend, and Moon, please don't hate my guts if I mispronounce this. I know something sounds different than, it does in here where I live, and we Americans are notorious for mispronouncing things, so I apologize with all my heart, but I think it's called a Teuton. It's like this little pancake-like thing that I've seen. I'll put a picture of it on screen. It looks like a pancake. It can have like jam and butter on it, or it can have kind of like, the other option would be, chocolate syrup, like whipped cream and like strawberries or chocolate chips on it. And I was like, I'm gonna do that one because, chocolate, it's like a chocolate chip pancake, and I felt like I could have more room with the design with that, so I could, take some inspiration based off of like multiple different things rather than just jam and butter, and I ended up having a lot of fun designing this. I gave him a little bit of armor. I don't know why I gave him a little bit of armor, but it kind of looked right. It looks right for a minotaur. I kind of gave him like this little like armor-esque skirt with strawberries and like, I don't know, that was just the vibe I was going for. And it ended up being really cute, and I added little chocolate chips to his body. I better not hear anything about his chocolate chip little nips. I will cry because everybody's gonna be like, oh, chocolate chip. Is his little nipples or chocolate chip? And I'm like, please don't fixate on the nipples. And, unfortunately, that's probably gonna be what you guys do now that I've mentioned and point them out. Unfortunately. But this is Tartacton. He's a goofy goober. He's genuinely kind of like boisterous, like easygoing, and just he's kind of a workaholic. He's like very excitable when it comes to like working out and stuff. He beefed himself up since like he was a wee little youngster, and he has so much fun working out and stuff. Like him and Penelope will go on little runs together, they'll exercise. Penelope is like very tiny, so like she can't lift a whole lot of weights, but he makes sure to like help her. Like he's very gentle, like he's like basically carrying all the weight but making sure Penelope feels like she's actually doing it. So she's like and she's like, I'm doing it, Tartacton, I'm doing it. And he's like, yeah, you are. Like, trying not to crush her if he lets go of the weight. Just trying to make her feel a little better and feel a little stronger, because he's a sweet boy like that. He may be dumb, but he cares about Penelope's feelings. And he's like, you're doing it. You're doing it. And he's very motivational. He works really hard to like keep his friends like happy and excitable and having a good time, and he enjoys, you know, just working out with his friends and stuff. He likes overdoing it with his performances sometimes, so I can imagine like he overdoes it with a performance, and then like later that night when the circus is over, he's like, I am so freaking sore, and Penelope is like, I got you, and basically gives him some tea, like a little peppermint tea, and then, you know, sits there and like puts little ice packs on his body just to make him feel a little less sore, and he's like, thank you. Just little cute interactions between the two of them. His interactions with Flanella, which is the next character that you will see being drawn, is actually very interesting. Like, she's a little flirty with him, but she means it in like a friendly way because she's just a flirty person. She doesn't mean it in like, oh, I'm seeking you romantically. And Tertaita is like, it goes right past his head. He doesn't even realize that she's flirting with him. He's like, huh? And, you know, he's a little dumb, and that's okay. He's just a little dumb. It's okay. It's okay. You precious, you precious, poor, sweet little thing. You ain't got a thought behind them eyes. You know, not a thought behind those little chocolate chip eyes. But I enjoyed making him, and thank you for the recommendation, Moon. I appreciate it. Flanella is a aerial performer. You can see that she does, like, you know, most aerial performances because she has, like, she's able to balance a little better with her wings and her arms together, if that makes sense. I don't know how. Like, I just picture, like, she's able to balance a little bit more if she has her wings out. So she's really good at, like, trapeze and, like, really good at aerial performing. So all sorts of stuff, or, like, the, you know, I forget what is trapeze, like, the ones where, like, I think the trapeze is the one where it's swinging, and then there's, like, the long, like, wire one. But she's really good at balancing. She's very flexible and stuff, and she's a little succubus. She's based off of Caramel Flan, and my friend Gina recommended me this food item because she loves it, and her grandma always used to make it for her, and I'm like, yes, precious little tidbits. And I had a lot of fun with her design. I wanted to make it kind of flirty and fun. Of course, you had to have a little boobage in there, little cleavage, and for the most part, she turned out really cute. I gave her big chunky horns and a little chunky tail because I felt that was right, and I find most of her design just really fun and interesting, and I really liked it. She's very courteous and kind of like a regal character. She's very, like, just genuinely, like, generous and stuff. Like, even though she's a little flirty, like, she's not looking for, like, a romantic relationship anytime soon. She just means it in, like, a kind, like, playful way. She's very, like, open that she, just genuinely doesn't find, like, romantic relationships, like, her thing sometimes. Because, like, it's just, I don't know, she likes, you know, being herself. Like, she doesn't want to be tied down to anybody specifically, and it's not that she doesn't want romance eventually in her life. It's just more like, at the moment, she's just doing her own thing. She's being a flirty little succubus. So yeah, she loves getting attention from, like, her aerial performances because, you know, some of the people will oogle at her. You know, she's got the flirtiness of a succubus. Most people would be like, dang, she really hot. And that's kind of the vibe that I went for her. And she's very flashy and stylish with her clothing. She loves getting on sparkly outfits for, you know, performing and stuff to kind of, you know, outshine a little bit, like, just kind of catch your attention when you're looking around the circus and all the performances and stuff. And this is just like her normal outfit that she wears for the circus. When there's like more eventful nights, like where there's like special events and stuff, she definitely like, you know, wears like more flashy outfits and everything. I think I really liked how her design came together, because I like the little aspects of caramel in there. Because, like, you know, I wanted to incorporate the caramel in the flan, because flan's technically a pudding, right? I think it's a pudding. It has kind of like the silkiness of like how like you could like, I don't know, it's so hard to explain. Because, you know, like, when you cut off a little bit of the flan, it's kind of like you're, like, digging into, like, a little Jell-O cup. I don't know how to explain it. But, like, I wanted to kind of have, like, a little, like, more, like, pudding-like texture, like, kind of jelly, like, vibe to her. So, like, I tried little drippies and stuff. And, I thought it was just cute little aspects that I incorporated into the design as a whole. And essentially, we have Flanella. Oh, look at her. So pretty. Just a gorgeous little lady. And, I genuinely had a lot of fun just doing all these designs. And let's get on to the last but not least. So this is Ginger. She is Ginger Frosting. That's her name. I couldn't think of a better name to give the base animal. Like, I just wanted her to sound like kind of sweet and like kind of like hint at her nature with her name. Like, she's very like gentle and kind and motherly, and she's very, very sweet. I based her off of a circus cookie. If you don't know what circus cookies are, they're animal crackers covered in like a little bit of frosting and like rainbow sprinkles. And that's what I've always called them. They probably are called something else. They're probably just called frosted animal crackers. but I call them circus cookies. And I love me some circus cookies. I think they're really fun, like little tidbit, and I thought that it would be cute to base the centaurs off of like animal crackers, because you know you can have multiple different types of centaurs. It doesn't just have to be a horsey, you know. It could be just about anything. And I based it off of that because I thought it would be fun, and I had a lot of fun just kind of making her very round shapes, very gentle and huggable, and very snuggly, very like huggable appearance. Like, that's the vibe. She does animal acts for the circus. She like works with animals and stuff. She never uses the whip on them. Like, she whips the ground to kind of indicate like what they should do. Like, there's like patterns or stuff that she's like taught the animals to kind of like go with when she hits the ground, and she's like, okay, like, this is what we're doing now, and the animals like listen and stuff. Because I can imagine she would never want to use a whip on like an animal. It would really like upset her, because she would like literally burst into tears if she accidentally hit one of her animals with the whip. And she's just a big sweetheart. She is very motherly to the other two. Like, when she joined the circus, she was the one that brought the two, like, Penelope and Tartagton with her, mainly to kind of, like, incorporate them into the circus, because she kind of, like, adopted them as a motherly figure. And since she was friends with the circus goers and she joined the circus, they were kind of somewhat included and always were at the circus with them. And then they kind of aspired to grow up and become a part of the circus with their adoptive mama. So she's very sweet. She loves, you know, being around everybody, and she especially has to make sure that her adoptive children behave, because we know that both Tertagton and Penelope would definitely get into some sort of trouble, being the goofy goobers they are. And she genuinely is just a very gentle and nurturing kind of motherly figure. She's also best friends with Odette, and she has a crush on Angelica. She's like, just her energy. She finds her smart, cute. She finds everything about Angelica just wonderfully adorable, and she actually helped make the little ice cream creatures because, you know, there's magic in this universe, and she's like, I'll help you collect the items, and then you can use the magic to, make them sentient and stuff. And it was just little stuff because it was a collaborative effort between the two, and it worked out really good. And just Angelica and her get along so swimmingly, and, just I can imagine, Angelica, unintentionally, flirts with Ginger, and it's really funny because it's, Angelica's, she says something offhanded, and, Ginger just gets really flustered, and she's like, what do you mean by that? And, it's like, are you flirting with me? I'm confused. I don't know how to read these signals. It's just these signals. It's like, I don't know how to read these signals. And it's just little goofy stuff like that, but I had a lot of fun with the backgrounds and designs for these, and for the most part, that's our lovely little cast. I worked my tuchus off on them. I spent a couple days just making this video, and usually I'd spend 1 or 2 days making a shorter video, but yeah, this is the circus. Welcome to the jungle. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, this is just a funny little goofy video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I worked my butt off on this, and if you liked, please leave a comment or maybe like and subscribe. Be able to join me on my live streams and stuff, maybe turn on notifications. My socials are linked down below on my card, and I also have a Ko-Fi if you feel like supporting me there. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you stayed for most of the video, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!